The Brave Little Kitten and the Old Oak Tree. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a little kitten named Pippin. Pippin wasn't like the other kittens in the village. She was born with a limp, which made it harder for her to keep up with her brothers and sisters. While they raced and played in the fields, Pippin spent most of her time watching from the windowsill of her cozy home. Despite her disability, Pippin had a heart full of courage. She would sit by the window and dream of running through the fields, chasing butterflies, and climbing trees. One tree in particular stood out to Pippin, the great old oak tree at the edge of the village. It was ancient and towering, its roots sprawling deep into the earth, and its branches stretched high into the sky. It was said to be the oldest tree in the village, and the villagers often told stories of how it had witnessed generations. Pippin's biggest wish was to climb the oak tree. She had heard tales of its strong branches, where you could see the whole village from the top. But how could a little kitten with a limp ever climb such a giant tree? One warm afternoon, Pippin watched her siblings dart out into the fields. As usual, she stayed behind, feeling left out. But that day, something inside her stirred. She couldn't let her limp stop her from at least trying. She padded softly to the oak tree, her tiny paws quiet on the grass. The old tree stood there, wise and silent, its leaves whispering in. One warm afternoon, Pippin watched her siblings dart out into the fields. As usual, she stayed behind, feeling left out. But that day, something inside her stirred. She couldn't let her limp stop her from at least trying. She padded softly to the oak tree, her tiny paws quiet on the grass. The old tree stood there, wise and silent, its leaves whispering in the breeze. "Hello, Mr. Oak," Pippin whispered to the tree. "I'm not sure if I can climb you, but I want to try." With a deep breath, Pippin placed one paw in front of the other and made her way toward the tree's thick roots. The ground was uneven, but she used her claws to grip the earth, moving slowly but steadily. Her heart raced with excitement and fear, but she kept going. The climb was difficult, and many times she stumbled or lost her balance, but she never gave up. When she finally reached the first branch, Pippin paused to catch her breath. From there, she could see the whole village, its cobblestone streets winding through clusters of cottages. Her heart raced with excitement and fear, but she kept going. The climb was difficult, and many times she stumbled or lost her balance, but she never gave up. When she finally reached the first branch, Pippin paused to catch her breath. From there, she could see the whole village, its cobblestone streets winding through clusters of cottages, and the fields that seemed to stretch on forever. The view was breathtaking. Pippin felt proud of herself, but there was still more to climb. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Pippin reached the highest branch of the oak tree. She looked out across the village, the sun beginning to set and paint the sky with shades of orange and pink. The breeze tugged at her fur, and for the first time, she didn't feel like the kitten with a limp. She felt like a kitten who had accomplished something extraordinary. Just as Pippin settled onto the branch to rest, a gentle voice spoke from below. "You did it, little one," said the old oak tree. "I've watched many creatures try to climb me over the years, but few have climbed with such courage. You have shown true bravery." Pippin's eyes widened in surprise. She hadn't expected the tree to speak. The old oak continued, its voice as soft as the wind. "It's not the size of your paws or the strength of your limbs that makes you brave, Pippin. It's the strength of your heart. You didn't give up when the climb was hard. You kept going, one step at a time. That is what true courage looks like." Pippin smiled, her chest swelling with pride. She had never thought of her bravery that way before. She had always believed that courage meant being able to do things perfectly. But now, she understood that courage was simply trying despite the obstacles, despite the fears. As the sun set behind the hills, Pippin carefully made her way back down the tree, her heart light and her steps confident. She returned home to her cozy windowsill, where her brothers and sisters were playing outside. "Where were you, Pippin?" they asked, their eyes wide. "I was at the old oak tree," Pippin replied with a smile. "And I climbed to the top." Her siblings gasped in amazement. "But how did you do it with your limp?" they asked. Pippin smiled and said, "I didn't let my limp stop me. I just took it one step at a time." That night, as Pippin drifted off to sleep, she felt a warmth in her heart that would stay with her forever. She had learned that no matter the challenges, with courage, determination, and a big heart, she could accomplish anything.